All right, so I think we're live. Let's see, we're gonna grab the link real quick, put it into our Discord. And I know YouTube's been a little funky. Sometimes they send a notification, sometimes they don't. It can be weird like that. Anyway, we will get started here shortly. Hey, the one, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Let's see, we got the live stream now posted to our Discord, which we love. Okay, so we're going to claim our free energy, starting out on our web version of the game right now currently. Let's see, we're going to upgrade some of these guys here. Can we get some soul stones? We can. What else can we do here? Can upgrade our buddy Rufus here, so we will. Doesn't hurt. And plus, I think, yeah, okay, so we got Grand Arena Soul Stones, and we also got Ishmael here as well. Ishmael's one of the heroes that I actually really like, so we'll definitely be claiming some of that. We need to upgrade him a little bit level-wise so that we can actually continue to upgrade Rufus, so we'll start with that. Of course, remember, my web account is a lot newer, so sometimes there is a lot of work that needs to be done with, at least a lot more work that needs to be done with this account. So just keep that in mind as I slowly upgrade some stuff here. Hey, Wally, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining this Sunday stream for me. It's going to be a little bit shorter as is standard for a Sunday live stream, but we're starting out on web here. I'm going to try to I'm not really sure. I've kind of started a team in a sense where I have Aurora and Dante. I haven't really filled out the rest of the roster yet, but definitely inclined to thinking about, I have an Isaac who's fairly strong, I would say, for my, team in terms of like what I have available. So that is someone I'm looking at working with as well. Isaac, I feel like Sebastian has to be a hero that's in consideration. I mean, he's just universally used, which almost leads me to think, maybe I should also in the future develop Rufus and, maybe create that one tough team that, we've been struggling with. It'll give me an opportunity not only to create it, but also to kind of work with some um, teams to kind of figure out, how to defeat it as well as how to, proceed. So things to consider there as well. I definitely am inclined to using some of these certificates. Not yet, though. We're going to wait for a bigger event, but that is kind of where my head's at right now. I definitely need to pick up these EXP potions. Definitely still super early in game for me in terms of developing my characters, which is good and bad because obviously like it gives you room to grow a lot, but there's just a lot going on. Hey Jerome, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Yes, and I hope you are having a nice day as well. Anthony Smith says, "Hi Jay, Scabby, Man United just beat Brighton on penalties in the FA Cup semifinal. Can't you tell I hate Man United?" I get it. I mean, am I wrong in understanding that Manchester United didn't they lose to someone like fairly recently that was like kind of a big deal? I'm trying to think. I don't really know a whole lot about what's going on in the soccer universe, but let me check here, man. Manchester United. I thought they lost the other day, so they won in penalties, okay. But I thought they lost the other day. Yeah, they lost to Sevilla, right? Which was kind of a big deal because now in aggregate they are not advancing. Or did I misunderstand something there? I thought this meant that they lost, but they won today in the semifinals. So maybe I'm misunderstanding something here. So there's different cups, right? So the FA Cup, you have the Europa League. So they got knocked out of the Europa League, is that right? And now they're in the FA Cup and they're doing, I guess, better because they won today in the free full-time penalties. 7-6 it looks like to Brighton, which is tough. That, if you're Brighton, that it's a tough way to go. But yeah, I mean that Must have been pretty exciting though up to that point with the PKs. So I mean, hopefully that was good. I mean, obviously, very very tough there. Tough loss. Um, and I mean, close. You almost had him. In that sense as well. Just a tough. Manchester United's a very storied franchise. If you don't know soccer very well, um, so they've been around a long time. It's kind of like I would equate it to like it's very similar to how people view the New York Yankees. They've had a history of winning, so people don't love them. And I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I'm just semi-aware. We'll put it that way. Semi-aware. So anyway, all right. So we got some energy spent there. We're gonna also definitely do the enchanting a glyph. We're gonna work on Dante. I think that makes a lot of sense. I must have something in my mail as well because that seems a little low for me with runes. Oh, or not. Okay, I guess we got to do some work in terms of playing a little bit more on web here. We haven't been doing a great job of that. We've been playing occasionally, but not nearly as much as we should. Promotion. All right, so we'll definitely be claiming a couple group gifts here. I know it's not advised, but when I play, I got to make sure that I'm making the most of the time that I am playing, and we're not just leaving too many gifts in our mail, but looks like nothing crazy left here. Okay, that's fine. So we got that 200 energy, claim our daily login, day 4 of the month, which not great. Again, it's all right. Got to start somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and I kind of want to run through campaign, see how my team is faring against some of these slots. And I know that once we come across certain levels, this just becomes increasingly more difficult. Okay, so here we are. Can we take this down? Kind of like the idea of having Isaac here instead of Yasmin, but we'll see how that runs. So Anthony says, yes, they are out of Europa League. I gotcha. I'm not a Brighton fan. I'm a Blackburn Rovers fan. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I do remember that. Because I was like, Blackburn's not a team that is. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's like one of the most popular teams. We'll put it that way. They're not a bad squad, but they're a little bit more of the up and coming. They definitely have to play a little bit of a smoother soccer, if I remember correctly, in that they don't have as much room for error. Like some of these big franchises, they've got really big name players, and with those really big name players, it's just hard to you have a lot more room for error. Like you can have a bad game, but you have like another superstar on your team, helps make your team's pretty strong. So just thoughts like that. And if I'm not mistaken, Anthony Smith knows a lot more about his team, obviously, so he can fill me in and fill us all in. But yeah, definitely. Gujo, hello, nice to have you here from Quebec, Canada. Rantop, hello, hello. Nice to have you here on this shorter Sunday stream. We're starting out on Hero Wars Web here. I'm trying to progress a little bit in campaign. I haven't played in such a long time that I don't really remember how weak or how decent my team is. So we're kind of going to play it by ear, figure it out, and see what happens. I remember upgrading a little bit Thea before the end of the last time I played, and upgrading Astaroth a little bit to kind of help in some of the tankiness, I will call it, of my team. And we'll see if that helps us progress a little bit here. So it looks like we're going to be able to come out with this one and hopefully end up okay. So there's a nice little win. And it's a 3-star, which hopefully allows us to get 2 more here. So let's see, we've got 2 more openings there. Or 2 more autos, and then we got a long ways to go here. I think when we hit this Helios, if we get there, that'll probably be one of the stopping points for us because our team's definitely not the strongest. I'll put it that way. We're just it's not built to be the strongest yet, and we're still level 107 of the level 130 that we could be. So definitely a lot of room for improvement with our team. But again, you got to start somewhere. You're not going to be perfect. Should I have saved those for an event? Yes, but I didn't. And let's see, there's a lot of things I should have done that I didn't do, but that's okay. I want to get to a point, ideally, where I can kind of access some of those orange items and upgrade some of these, some of my better heroes. And that's really the goal here, is to kind of get to a point where I can continue to upgrade some of my solid heroes and get to a point where I'm not as concerned when I'm fighting against opponents, in terms of surviving, right? So that's one of the key things here. So let's see, we're gonna upgrade Martha here. She's gonna be key for us down the line. It's just inevitable. I think everyone eventually likes to have Martha available or turn to Martha. So that's really what we want as well. So we got promotion there. We will use the heroic chest. Got some Aurora Soul Stones, so we can trade those in a second. Trade them in for absolute items. Not really too much that I need right this second. And because I'm limited in what I can actually purchase, right? And when I say that is, I don't have as many soul coins as I would on Facebook, right? So that's where I'm saying I'm more limited than usual. Let's see. Campaign. Let me look at Thea as well. Anything we can do for her right now? Not really looking like it item-wise. Grand Arena has this. Okay, we can get it for her, sure. Equip that on. Arena, it's kind of expensive, but it's all right. I don't even know if I really usually focus on Thea this much, but it's for fun. I haven't used Thea too much actually at all on any of my any of my other platforms, right? Including mobile. I don't use Thea. So, it's a good opportunity to kind of see what she can do in the interim. Eventually she's going to get replaced by Martha, but for now. EXP, we are pushing it up a little bit, and we got to make sure we do all of our EXP tasks when we do play. So opening chests in Outland, always a move. Who just says don't forget to work with Judge as well? Absolutely, we'll look at Judge in a second here. And yes, if you guys don't mind hitting that like button, it is much appreciated. It does really help. I mean, why? I don't know. The algorithm's weird like that, but hitting that like button, it's huge. So if you guys don't mind doing it, it really does help, and I appreciate it. So yeah, it definitely helps me out a lot. So thank you guys for doing that. Hey Prax, nice to have you here. You're not late at all. We do have a shorter stream typically on Sunday, but you're not late at all. So far, we've just been talking a little bit about soccer, right? The other thing to keep an eye on, I guess, is NBA, right? So yesterday was a big day. I know a lot of people are fans of the Lakers. They've been doing well, so that's good. I think the Knicks play right now, which is kind of a big deal because the Knicks have historically been just not good. Just let's be honest, they haven't been good, and now they're in the playoffs for the first time in a long time, I would say. I mean, yes, they have gotten to like the play-in games, but usually they're not in the playoffs itself, so kind of a bigger deal. All right, let's see what else we got here. We are also working on our team, so that's what we're doing. We're working at Judge. We're looking at Judge. That's why I went back here. Gift of Elements might be one of the moves. We'll upgrade one time here. Artifacts. I should check all my artifacts. I don't believe I've worked too much on artifacts at all, so we definitely got to look and see what, if anything, I've done. So we're going to start with the expeditions, get those going. Man, this is an example of an account that has been partially played, but not played enough to be to a point where I'm impressed with it at all. Just being honest, I can definitely do better. So we'll have to look at this. But we're gonna start some of these expeditions up. Artifacts, let's take a look. So it's not like I have neglected all of them. So I guess Aurora has been getting her periodic updates in terms of her artifacts, but everyone else pretty far behind based on what I'm seeing. Kind of tempted to trade in some of these purple ones, and I'm also tempted to get Aurora into the next rank. So I think we might end up doing that here. We're gonna sub in some blues to get her to 51. I'm gonna do the same here, and should help my team pretty drastically, honestly. But we'll start with this, just because I don't have any heroes in the blue. We want to get him to blue. We'll get Dante into some of the green at least. Should be, I think, a smart play. We don't need to necessarily get him all the way to 50, but I think we might end up getting close. I think I traded in enough for 50, but we'll stop there. Here I do want to get him out of this gray zone. That's just sad. Guess we'll do this too to get him into 50. And we'll stop at 50 for the last one as well. And then I'm going to look at some of the other ones that are still in the gray. We need to upgrade because even though it's not recommended that you do this, I think just my hero team's been so far behind on this server because I transferred servers, so I moved up. I need to do something drastic like this to give myself a fighting chance soon, right? In terms of the teams that I'm going up against. And here we can see we don't even have this. We need to get that. We don't even have it summoned for Astaroth. That's problematic. Thea, how's Thea's item image looks? Let's see. So she at least has all three of them. I really am gonna need to rely on Isaac down the line. So he's someone I'm definitely looking at to upgrade those grays. So maybe we do that now. Get these grays going. And I know because grays are like the cheapest artifact level, it makes it the easiest to acquire. But, well, I say acquire, but the easiest to exchange for because it requires the least amount of other resources. So we're just going to get all these to 25, and I'm going to stop there for now in terms of my artifacts. But it does increase my team pretty significantly, which I think we'll see here when I'm trying to continue to advance a bit in the campaign. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed how well my team has survived considering how weak it is in these respects. So we got some work to do with the Chaos Cores. We have some keys, but not a lot. This should get us at least one more key, 2 keys, nice. Pet Summoning, long ways to go there, but we will open 10. Chorus has been acquired. So that's the first time I got Chorus. I guess I didn't play the Chorus event. Well, we got Chorus now, though. We got the chest and tower. We'll look at that in a sec. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's go back to campaign. Good morning, Andrew. Absolutely. No, congratulations on your gift. Absolutely. Thank you for hopping on to the live stream. So Andrew was a winner the other day, and so just so you guys are caught up, I also, I sent him the rewards. So, we're just that's what we're talking about there. But yes, getting back here, we're trying to see what we can do for our squad. And here I just upgraded Isaac a little bit and Aurora as well as Dante. So hopefully we'll have an easier time. We did end up winning on the last one, but I'm hoping that maybe some of these upgrades allow for us to continue to have success here. Maybe also get another 3-star complete finish. Kane's doing some good damage as well. So there's a nice little win here. We kind of want to take the auto off so that we're not burning up a ton of our hits. I guess Kane can go because it doesn't really matter. Because Kane, it matters, but not really. And now we do have some heroes who have some active skills ready. And I like that because Dante's skill, if you get hit by the big javelin, he reduces stats pretty significantly of the opponent, which allows for all my other heroes to perform even better. So that's really kind of one of the keys there. And now we take auto off again, allowing our team to heal, right? With Thea, she heals over a certain period of time. She heals all her allies, the weakest allies first, and then it allows for others to also get their energy up in terms of having an ult activate. So that's kind of the plan. That's the game plan here when we're trying to advance in campaign. We don't have the most OP or overpowered team. So yeah. Hey Gary H, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Anthony says, I can't wait until NFL starts again. Big New England's Patriots fan. Interesting. It's interesting because I think A lot of people would have called you probably a bandwagon fan back in the day, right? When Tom Brady was still around in that franchise. Him and Gronk were just such a dynamic duo, such a tough uh, combination to overcome. People did not love that because they kept winning. They were like a franchise, like they were really tough to beat. But now that they're kind of on the they're improving, but they're kind of in a steady rebuild. I think a lot of people wouldn't call you that. So it's interesting. It's interesting. The New England Patriots. I don't have love or hate for them one way or the other. But yeah, no, it should be a very interesting season. I mean, and there's a lot of different changes. I still think the 49ers got such a good trade getting McCaffrey mid-season last year. I couldn't believe that even happened. Um, I don't know. I think the 49ers are going to be someone exciting to watch. I think the Bengals are going to be super dangerous. I'm excited to kind of see them play a little bit. Um, we'll see what happens with Mahomes. I mean, obviously they won this past year, but there's a lot of football coming up. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of contenders. I mean, even the was it the Panthers, right? With long hair. I want to say it was the Carolina Panthers, right? The guy who came from Clemson. Oh man, why am I blanking on his name? All right, sorry, I'm reading the comments here. Any idea of what the new pet will be? I don't have any ideas on what the new pet will be, but I do think that it's a matter of time before we get a new pet. I mean, obviously, we have Julius coming up right after this event right now. That's the Kark event, right? Um, but in terms of actual, hold on, sorry, give me one sec. Trevor Lawrence, oh my goodness. He's on the Jacksonville Jaguars, not the Panthers. I'm so wrong. So wrong, guys. I apologize. Jaguars, that's right. That's who I was thinking of. I was like, the Jaguars were not supposed to be good, this early. Sorry. That was a side note. It was just going to bug me if I didn't look it up. Okay. Talking about pets, though, we'll look into that in a sec here. Let me just claim these here. I'll think on it. Hey, Cal Knapp, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. All right, let me think about this. We're talking about pets, right? So let's take a look at our pets, what we got so far. Sanctuary, pets, right? Pets. So we've got some interesting things going on here in pets. And when I say interesting, I think interesting from the standpoint of what we have recently gotten, what we have from the past. So there's two different main distinctions in this as I upgrade the pets. So let's look at it in the order that we've gotten these pets. So we started obviously first with Oliver, Fenris, and I believe Merlin. These I think are the first three pets we got. Right? And so Oliver was kind of healing for the general populace. This was healing your tanks with just regular physical damage. So one of the most basic healing techniques. So then you had the physical attack, right, which was Fenris and blinding, and then you had Merlin, who was dealing extra magic damage, right, because magic was not as strong as it is now, and the physical attack was stronger. So having physical attack blindness was key, so that obviously you had less hits get taken, and so you'd be able to deal more damage. With that, though, then we came to, I believe, Mara was introduced after that, as well as Kane, and then you had Albus. So these three were the next three that were semi-created, semi-exist. We're going to evolve Mara as we mentioned that. You got Kane here, still working on him. And obviously Kane is a dodge hero, and we have Mara, who is an enhancer, right? So she enhances the length of a negative stat or prolongs it. So basically another anti-Sebastian style promoter. And then we had Albus, who deals more pure damage. So he deals extra damage. So then after that, we had Axel, right? So Axel was kind of a better version of the original Oliver, right? Just prevents us from getting one hit KO'd, essentially. And it protects more heroes. It's not just the frontline hero. Then we got Biscuit, who, again, similarly, but also slows down but does magic damage, right? So, you know, prevents healing, so kind of prevents some healing and stuff like that. Similar kind of to, I would say, more of a Merlin than a Fenris. We had Chorus, who kind of deals some, some enhancement. So this to me is similar to Mara. So I would say heroes that we're kind of lacking right now in similar pets, right? And the reason I'm starting with this is because I'm thinking about more skills. So when we think about that, that means Merlin's kind of been covered, Oliver's been covered, right? A secondary version of them. Fenris has not been covered. Um, I would say, I mean, unless you're considering Albus to be the second cover of Fenris. And then you got Kane and Mara, as well as Chorus and Biscuit. So to me, right, and I know we've talked about this before, I really think there's room for a critical hit enhancer based on what we've been seeing so far. And the reason I come up to that conclusion is because critical hit is typically reserved for physical attackers. And so, I mean, I think based on the fact that this Chorus hero or Chorus Pet and Biscuit really kind of focus more on like Fenris and Mara type skills. I think it's just a matter of time before we see, or sorry, not Fenris, Merlin and Mara type skills. I think it's a matter of time before we see another Fenris style attacker. Obviously, it could be argued that Kane is kind of, another physical attacker style, but I still think there's room for that critical hit damage, which I think would be provided by another pet. So I personally think that that is the most logical next pet to have. Because I think if Hero Wars is stumped, it's really simple, right? You go into a critical hit hero. Obviously, that doesn't still solve some of the problems that you have when you're looking at Nebula, for example, who only has one pet. But I think it makes sense in terms of how they've gone about developing these pets that exist right now in the Hero Wars sphere of universe. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, Prax. It would make you awesome. I would love to see that. I think it just doesn't make sense for us to have too many more of the exact same pet. I think based on what they're doing, they haven't had duplicates yet, so I don't foresee that being the case. But I think that would be kind of the next step. Is I mean, you have a dodge hero. Why would you not have a critical hit hero next? I think those critical hit would probably be the next step. Then maybe even in the future you have another dodge related hero. Kane, right, deals physical damage based on dodge, but you could have another pet that amplifies hero's dodge, which could be concerning. And then you'd have that would be another enhancer style, right? Because you start with a healing class, attacking class, right, which is kind of more like the Fenris or the Albus is. And then you have Merlin, I think would even fall into that attacking class. So you got healing, attacking. We haven't really seen too many defending specifically yet, which I think could be another thing. But we also have the enhancer class. So those are kind of the four classes I see in terms of different pets we've seen thus far, and that I think we can expect to continue to see. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but that I think critical hit is the most logical next pet to come. And then we come up with two probably more boring heroes. I think one in maybe an armor style and one in magic defense. Just kind of my thoughts there. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what we got. So let me see here. Let me start an adventure. I haven't done an adventure on this account in a long time. I think. Let's see. So I'm not really sure. It looks like I have. What do I have instant clear on, if anything? Do I have instant clear on this one? I'm trying to figure out which pet adventure I haven't completed yet. I mean, is 90 really the one that I need to do? Or are these just like unlocked? We'll get it sorted later. I guess I'll just start with an easier one and hope that someone joins me. I haven't seen too many people do adventures on this particular account, but I also haven't been playing it that much, so can I really be one to talk? Eh. All right, so maybe I'll start here and go this way and hope that someone else joins and allows us to clear a pathway. There's a couple different ways you can approach this adventure, which is really nice, especially if you're like newer to this type of adventure. So I think it'll be a solid start. And it's interesting. We got Julius, the new hero there, and we're gonna keep going around. I think I'm gonna just get to here and stop, and then we'll sort out. Well, I'll sort out with my guild mates if some join how we want to proceed in terms of this adventure. I might even just stop here too. I'm not really sure. Physical damage is really my strength, so we'll stick with physical damage. I think we got to take this down, so we'll go for it. Maybe I should switch on my team. Heidi's still on my team, who's good, but not really one of my better heroes. Isaac is typically the better option for me right now. We'll see what happens though. We'll go for it. We got the win still, very nice. And I think we're going to do this one too because it's got to get taken down at some point. Should have switched my team, but that's okay. And we'll stop there because that takes out some towers, which is going to be essential, right? Whoever joins second should be taking down that far left path, hopefully. And if not, then we'll get it sorted. But I'm kind of thinking we go around and kind of take out some of these bigger towers, then go from there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We could have this, second person keep going around, take those down. This third person can kind of go this way, and then I can just go straight there. But there's a lot of different ways we can approach it. For now, I'll just leave it as is. But I do think that is the next logical pet. I think that would be cool. Hey, Vitamin, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Calnap, hello. Thank you for joining the live stream. What do we got here? I made my Chaba level 105. Kayla Aiden, Martha Albus defeat Kornak at 3 stars. Congratulations. That's a big feat. Kornak he's tough. He's got those little, he's a tough boss. I think all the bosses when you're, going through it, not the easiest. I mean, I know Hero Wars doesn't always they don't share that with you, but they're not the easiest to kind of take on. There's a lot going on behind the scenes there. So hats off to you on that. That's a big accomplishment. It's not the easiest to do, and you got them going. You got them going. Rantup says a lot of mages get armor from pets. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's also why I typically think critical hit would be very, very helpful for those typical physical attackers because there has been so much made around magic attackers in recent memory that I think it makes sense that down the line here we get some more physical attack related upgrades, and I think critical hit is one of those ones that could be key. It'll also kind of bring to the forefront some of the heroes that people have neglected, like Corvus, right? Some people have definitely stayed off of Corvus because it's too much work to go back and work on him. I'm like that, but I think it also could introduce that as well. Cujo says, "Can the cat patronage the dog?" I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that would be pretty funny though if you could have, like, for example, Julius, right, who's a cat, with Fenris as as the pet. I think that would be pretty funny. I don't really know how that'll work. I mean, I'm excited to kind of see how it all plays out, but it would be a pretty funny idea. I like it. I like it a lot. Dragon Paralyzer, nice to have you here. We have worked a little bit on Judge right now, and obviously we're also I'm playing some Hero Wars Web. Haven't played it in a while, so we're just kind of going through campaign and going through. Merrick says hi. This cat looks too strong, like Iris. I mean, we'll see, Merrick. I'm not convinced one way or another um, yet. So, I mean, it's possible. I just haven't seen enough to be that impressed yet. But I could be completely wrong. I just haven't seen anything that really drives me to the point where I'm like, oh, we should be worried about Julius. I'm not seeing anything that leads me there yet. But feel free to let me know too what else you're seeing that is concerning in terms of that. Um, you know, New Julius character. Let me know. What are you thinking that's looking strong, Merrick? I'm curious. Um, oh, this looks tough. We might not win this one. Aurora's just beating up my own team. Oh no. So we might end up winning, but it's going to be a 1-star win. So I got some work to do to upgrade the rest of my team. Unfortunately, even if we do win, we'll take a win, but it's not going to be perfect. So some work to be done here. We hit a little bit of a snag there. But that's okay. We got to start. So still not even close to getting to that Dante level up spot. Can probably do something for Sebastian though, who I realize. Well, we'll grab some Dragon Hearts. I'm going to need Sebastian down the line, so this is just a strategic play down the line. And I mean, trying just a basic item that everyone eventually needs, but we'll leave it alone there. Got that started. Opening chest and tower. Do I want to do that here on stream? It's just going to take a long time. Eden, we can upgrade. So we will. Should probably summon that last item there for you. Should probably just summon it for all of them, honestly. I know it's like not the best. I mean, eventually I'm going to have to do it for all of them, so it doesn't really matter. Not in my opinion, at least. But we got to start. We got to start somewhere. So we're going to awaken all of these low-hanging fruits. Yari, I don't think she has enough. Yeah, she doesn't have enough itemage to get going. But that's a start there for our Hero Wars web account. I would say it's a pretty solid day in upgrades. A lot of work still to be done. Not going to finish it in one day. Lore Seeker's bags, just hold on to them. I will open these strong boxes though, just for fun. I figured it has some interesting items. Nothing that's going to be crazy useful, but, you know, open them up. So we did that. All right. So with that, let me hop over to my Facebook version of the game really quick. I just want to take a look here and make sure I got the basics done as well. Open this up. Dragon says, I'm more interested, would Julius benefit more from duration shields or capacity shields? You know, and this is one thing too. I mean, obviously I think they've briefly discussed skills, but for me, I don't have enough information yet to make a good call. I feel like there's so much that is still up in the air when it comes to knowledge on Julius that I don't want to make too early calls, but I'm excited to kind of see what we get out of Julius. I'm not convinced he's going to be overpowered, but I'm not convinced that he's not. And we'll have to end up seeing how that plays out. We did pick up some energy here. We're working on Lars over here. Oh, man, this is just annoying. Go away. All right, we're going to try to, Soulstone Shot. Get some of that item going. Complete the first of 2. Waken Might. We need to create 3 of these. That's so many Lamort cards. Oh, that's gross. Alright, we're going to try to raid some of these guys. Guys up to 25. Let's see, what can we do for our buddy Judge since we're here? Start with glyphs. Glyphs are always pretty straightforward. Get him up to 29, 30. 30 on intelligence. He's getting smarter. Not necessarily the best looking skin. We're going to go with the default. And we will upgrade magic attack. But which one do I do first? I think we'll go to 10 here. Call that good. So that's some upgrades there with Judge really quick. What else we got here? Julius and Adventure 13. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, Chaba definitely is an answer, I think, for most situations when you're facing a tough tank. I really haven't had a tough encounter yet with Julius, so I'm just not super familiar enough to be able to give you great advice on that. But I do think that, like, I would pay attention to the buffs. The buffs usually are the ultimate differentiation in adventures because the heroes themselves are not any stronger than the heroes that you have. The biggest problem with adventures, though, is the upgrades that they have, right? Those little buffs. So just pay attention to those buffs because they can hurt you more than they can increase the strength of the actual hero being amplified. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your adventures. Got one Lars Soulstone. What am I going to do with that? All right. Okay, so back here, we're going to collect that chest reward. Let's see what else we got here. Do I want to do? We'll do the tower run really quick. Then we're gonna do our picker wheel because I mean we're kind of cruising through. And Gujo says, "Do you think you'll be a new meta?" I don't know. I mean, I'm not really again. I'm not convinced one way or the other that Julius is as strong as he's kind of led on to believe. I think Iris has been decent, but I do think Iris still can be beat. You just have to have the right options, right? You need to kind of have a long-range attacker, similar to what you had to face when you're going through chapter 14 and 15, right? Where we had to use Cornelius a lot of the time to target and hit those back lines so that we're not getting frozen up front and that all of our heroes can get to work and get stuff going. Kark, for example, Orion, even Kira to a certain extent, right? So I think those all get rid of the problem of Iris, but then with Julius, he's just a frontline attacker. So I mean, or tank essentially. So really, you just need to have hard enough hitting offense to prevent Martha healing, which can be really tough when you're facing an adventure where healing is 400% improved. That can make things really, really annoying. Meow Mix, and it will be okay when you're facing Julius. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll be talking about Julius, I think, next week for sure, and kind of, exploring Julius a little bit more as well. But I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm not going to try to overhype or underhype Julius yet. We're just going to see how it plays out. We're going to see how it plays out. Okay, so with that, we're going to go Outland, and then we're going to go Picker Wheel and wrap things up. Today, it's a shorter stream, right? It's a Sunday, for me at least, and all of y'all out there as well. There's a big sports day, a lot of sports going on. Obviously, we talked about some soccer, right? The pitch, if you will. And so, yeah, we'll do that and get going. But it is true that every hero does have a counter and whatnot. Dragon says, I can see Kira getting a new rebirth from pairing with Julius and Jet and becoming popular again. There might be something there. Might be. And who knows, if you're going to use those heroes, you might as well also factor in, what do you call him? Fafnir. I think Fafnir is one of those heroes who's dangerous. You pair him with good Kira, you better watch out. I think that is asking for some trouble. Yeah, I think Fafnir has some utility. It's just going to take a little bit of time before we get there. Let's double. Well, before we get to the picker wheel, we're gonna close by looking at Julius a little bit because I think we can, look at his skills. So, driven by his ingenuity and passion for adventuring, the Star Wanderer designed the Felix mech suit. Okay, he arrived in Dominion from a planet so distant you cannot see its stars in the sky. Julius will stand up for himself as well as defend from allies, despite his undeniable cuteness and soothing purrs. The dauntless feline fighter fills his foes with fear. A lot of F's in that sentence. His motto, meow, is recognized and dreaded throughout the universe. Okay, so we got Tank Julius, and his first skill is Defense Meowtrix. Julius surrounds his team with a defense matrix that absorbs all damage. Sounds great, not really sure how that works. After the matrix is destroyed, all heroes in the team are healed. So here's the thing, this doesn't tell me how strong that matrix is, doesn't tell me how much damage can be absorbed. Lot that can be, lot to be found out still with this. I mean, obviously there's testing, but I really like the hard tangibles. Once we get the skill, we'll see how they calculate this skill and how to kind of overcome and maybe even defeat it. Copycat device. Julius surrounds himself with an energy shield that absorbs all damage. If it's not destroyed over 5 seconds, the remaining shield is copied onto each ally. When receiving any shield, Julius boosts his physical attack until the end of battle. So this obviously tells us that Julius is a physical attacker. And he provides, he gets a boost. Not really too much more there other than, he absorbs some damage, like a tank should. 9 lives engine. Julius keeps protecting his allies even after their shields are destroyed. When an ally loses a shield, all negative effects are removed and they gain bonus armor and magic defense for 1.5 seconds. Now, this is an interesting skill depending on how often it activates. This could allow you to not have to use Sebastian or Nebula, but those aren't the only reasons you would want to use Sebastian or Nebula potentially. So, just something that you could do. Perfect reflexes. Grants feline reflexes to all allies, speeding up their attacks and skills for each active shield. Now, this is a useful skill. I'm looking, especially when we're talking about boss fights, this could be very, very useful. I think, it could change the meta potentially when you're fighting against Osh even, right? If you're using Martha, why would you not consider Julius if he's also going to double speed up your team potentially? So, there's some value here. Hard to determine how it will all play out, but it is something to look at. So, definitely something to look into. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm not gonna, go crazy on it, but that's obviously the first look if you haven't looked at him already. And so yeah, we'll get that going. So also, let's go now to our picker wheel Sunday edition. Keep in mind, if you want skin stones for web, we have to, we're working on it. Hero Wars Web, I reached out to them. We're having some discussions. It seems like no creator for web got any rewards. I don't know what web's doing. They've dropped the ball a little bit there. Classic web in terms of support. They've just been tough to reach out to. Facebook and mobile, they just respond quicker. Web is not the quickest response. Turnaround time, they're definitely known to be a little less helpful thus far, right? And we're not saying they can't improve, but to this point, they haven't been the most responsive. They're, whatever. It is what it is. Maybe they have less of a team. I don't know. All right, so with that, let's get our picker wheel Sunday Facebook open. Remember, these are names chosen from, or these are all the names that are listed in the Discord section. So good luck to everybody. Let's see who our first winner is. This is for Facebook. Good luck, everybody. Let's see. Our first winner is going to be Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith. Early happy birthday to you, Anthony Smith. I believe you were saying you're hoping you're going to win. It looks like you did end up winning here. Happy birthday and congrats on the win from the picker wheel for Facebook. You are our lucky winner. We've got one more winner as well, and that will be chosen from Web. Good luck to y'all again, and let's see who our winner is for Hero Wars Web. Good luck, everybody. Let's see. It is going to be Rio. Rio, you are our lucky web winner. Congratulations on this April 23rd, 2023. You guys are our lucky winners. Yes, Anthony, you are our lucky winner. Feel free to let me know what reward you want, and I will send it your way. Either on Discord is fine or whatnot. We'll get you your reward, I promise. So feel free to reach out on Discord. That's probably the easiest way. Or if you want to tell me here, that also works as well. Let me open up if that's the case, let me just open up Facebook so I can send it over really quick. All right, we're going to copy that ID. And yes, congratulations to our two winners there, Rio and Anthony Smith. So, all right, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on this Sunday stream. We're going to be having more winners next week. We're going to keep using the April. Obviously, it's still April. Picker wheel. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on the stream. We got some great work done on web and Facebook as well. We're going to be having the new hero Julius come very, very soon in Dominion. Looking forward to talking about that with y'all. Thank you guys again, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon in Dominion. Anthony Smith, you got it. I'll send it right after I sign off. Have a great one, everyone.